Good afternoon. Welcome to the Andrew Rogers podcast. And today with me is my good friend Douglas Horne. How are we doing?
I'm doing very well, Andrew. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope you're doing well, and hope you're keeping safe with obviously with everything that's happening as well.
Just doing away, man. Just doing what I need to do. This podcast came about because I went on furlough, so gonna keep me going and see where it goes. So
Yeah,
we've knew each other. I mean, we've knew each other for going on at nearly 10 years, I think. Might not be far off 10 years. Um,
yeah. I actually remember our first meeting as well. It was in my good friend Katie McCann's back garden,
Birthday.
uh,
Oh
which
mate,
was
what a night!
I know that's absolutely incredible. And you were like, "Who's this big lanky? Who's this big lanky bastard?" But no,
Well,
honestly, I do, I
listen,
do, I do remember that night very well.
I ended up really drunk. I think you left, and I got really, really drunk. So Lambrini and all that getting thrown about. So I mean, I've still got the picture from that night of me and Sean, and he's wearing a suit, and I've got like this Adidas jacket on, a bench T-shirt on, and I'm like, oh god, that's like so 2010, and just madness, that's madness, and people thinking me and him looked alike at the time, which
I
you
remember
know,
that as
remember
well.
that.
I remember that as well. Bonkers.
Are you his brothers? No, I can go there. Oh, right, Douglas. What again? How you ended up on Sam Radio and where did it all start?
Well, um, I came across Sam Radio as just a sort of a like a thing. I saw the Tune In app, and I was like, Sam Radio. I'll check this out. And then it was stands for Scottish Autistic Media, and I thought,
Yeah,
right, okay. And I was friends with Carl at the time. I met him when I used to go to Number Six. I used to meet at Number Six, and we went to play football as well. And
yeah,
Carl said, "Oh, I do a wee radio show on a Wednesday afternoon. Would you like to come and join?" And yeah, since 2017 I've done that. So that's nearly going on 4 years, and I've not looked back at that because that's given me the platform to be more confident as a person, speak more clearly as a person as well. And I just think it's really really helped me for
yeah,
sure. And also the fact is, I think with having Carl by my side, it's very very fluent. Obviously, we have Nick as well. We've got yourself. We've got Andrew Walker, who obviously does it as well. Um,
yeah,
and then, yeah, I mean, it used to be an hour. It used to be an hour radio show. Now it's gone on to two
yeah,
hours. It's been fantastic. So I can't thank Sam Radio enough because they've helped me a lot. They've helped me a lot with obviously with my confidence. I think it's built my confidence up. It's built my to look at people like eye contact as well. Like I've always had a problem with eye contact, so
yeah,
that's made it a world of difference for sure.
yeah, 100%. Because I remember back when I first met you and you were a bit nervy, and I think I told you, like, listen, just be cool. I'm an idiot anyway. I'm not going to judge you. And we always stayed in touch, like even after
Hmm.
we, you know, um, I mean, I don't even speak to Sean anymore.
Hmm.
So, it's out of things you get good friendships. Being friends with Sean has led me to be friends with great people like yourself, and I've met Carl and get on with Andrew. I know me and Nick have our great differences, but no, he's a good lad. We've done shows with him, and you just got to let him talk and not let him panic. Like just like
Yeah.
Nick, chill, listen, just chill, man. You didn't need to get yourself in a state. And the last stuff that when we were on must have been last time we were in the studio. He was there, and you know, I sat there and thought, that's exactly what I was going to say. Cheers. You
Mm.
know, said exactly what I was going to say. So yeah, you, through doing some radio on all the YouTube channels, what, a year old, year and a bit old now.
Yeah, it's almost going on 2 years since I properly started. 2019 was when I started, and
Yeah,
to be fair, like I have actually had this channel for like 5-6 years. Obviously just to just watch videos etc. But I wanted to properly start it, and I was just sitting. I was actually sitting on my bed, and it just came across to me that I'm gonna start properly. I'm gonna start properly. So obviously, the first video I do, which was like a wee introduction, I think I got about 139 views, which is not too bad.
yeah,
And I just thought, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start this. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed the fact that I thought to myself, I'll do SPFL predictions, I'll do Premier League predictions, just basically a main football channel to like have people to interact with me, and obviously down the line with Liverpool FC stuff as well. So
yeah,
that's what really started it off really for me. Was obviously looking at other channels and it's like, yeah, I've got a voice for I've got a voice for radio. I've got a voice for YouTube, and I thought I did. So, but obviously, yeah, as you will have seen, like first couple of videos, I'm very very nervous. You can say, but with obviously being in front of a camera, in front of being like an iPad, a phone,
yeah.
etc. It's made me a lot more confident as a person to do more videos for sure. And yeah, to be closing in on 1,000 subscribers is absolutely insane
Right
as
on
well.
that. Like, I remember we done a prediction video, and I think Paul Heckenbottom's in charge of Hibs. I still got it on my channel. Um,
Hmm.
and even to see you come from that to how you're now, I said to you last week in the chat, I was like, mate, your videos have just went, you know,
Yeah.
the confidence is there. And what YouTubers did you really, start with? What was it? Who was it that you
Um.
looked at and thought, I could go, I've got a voice like him. I think I could offer something like that.
Well, the person that really inspired me to do it was Daniel Cullender, who used to have a YouTube channel called Fandangle. Now that was basically predictions based, so I watched him, and he's done a lot for me. Actually, he's done a lot behind the scenes for me, like my channel art he did for me. He's going to do a logo for me at some point as well.
Yeah,
Daniel Cullender was one.
no,
I suppose.
you put me onto
Hmm?
his channel. I quite like his stuff. Um,
Yeah.
his channel's
But
really
no,
good.
he's a great man. Bluebird Legends. I've had them on the podcast as well. Like I've had Nathan, I've had Paul on there.
Yeah,
So it's much better to get them on. So that was another channel I looked to. Just mainly predictions based channels. Obviously, I do I have to say I do like watching Goldbridge on like FIFA.
you
Him
know
getting
something,
rage at
right?
FIFA.
He's really good for his rage, isn't he? Like,
Hmm.
it's not a unknown fact. I don't like United stand, but
Yeah,
I think Goldbridge has got his niche. Like, he's got his niche in the market, and sometimes he's hilarious.
he
Like,
is.
he's
He is
hilarious.
absolutely
He's
hilarious.
not. And if did you hear some of the stuff he was saying yesterday during the Liverpool game?
Hmm.
Oh man, I was just like, you're gold. No wonder you get daft views, man.
Yeah, slower than a snail at a traffic light. I think was one as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that
he's
was about
so.
Maguire.
Aye, he's absolutely hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. So I like the fact that he can do that as well. Um, Redmen TV, like obviously Liverpool. We're going on to
Mate,
certain
they're
Liverpool
amazing.
channels. Yeah, Redmen TV are
They're unbelievable.
fantastic. Um, I
Well, I
suppose
like.
another one really.
I
I suppose
prefer
another
them to
one would
be Paul.
be, yeah.
I follow Paul on Twitter. I think he's done some great work and working with BT now. So
Yeah.
he's getting them right in there.
What other ones? What other ones do I watch? I think probably I like to watch sometimes True Geordie. Like
Yeah, he's
True Geordie's
trying.
fantastic.
Um,
Him and Lawrence, Rory, um, McCullough
McCollum,
as well. And it's just given me like a platform to obviously be on other channels. Like I've been on that United Family for a lot of times as well. I've been on the Cup Council, been on Jack Mac LFC. I've been on these big channels. I've even been on Claude from AFTV's channel as well. So
yeah.
to be on these big channels
What's he
is
like?
he's
What's he like?
fantastic.
Is he?
He is
Because
absolutely fantastic.
I'd love to try and get him on for a blether because I know he's like sort of split
Hmm.
the. Well, watch what I say here, but I think AFTV's a bit. It's giving YouTubers and Arsenal fans a bad name now.
Mm,
Like I like DT's stuff on his own,
yeah,
and I like his stuff on his own and Troops. His own channel's pretty good, but all of them together, I think it's just a bad recipe. But by God, they get the views.
I know,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
see that Claude was like, sorry.
I think I don't know. Like I used to like AFTV, but that was obviously because of like rants, the rants etc. from that. But I just think it's going a wee bit downhill ever since like Troops and obviously Claude's going as well. I just think they've lost something in there.
Yeah,
But no, yeah, I have to say I do like watching a lot of channels that like are not really. I hate channels that like clickbait. So obviously, what you'll know what ones I mean, etc. But um, I'm not going to name names, but yeah, those ones just really really annoy me. But I like watching like people on Twitch. I like watching people to play FIFA, etc. Um, and yeah, just mainly predictions based channels as well.
yeah, because we've obviously got the two prediction pages on Facebook.
Hmm.
I've not got the span for them. I know I sort of went, oh, we should do Scotland. It's too much for my brain to handle working all that out. You've got the brain for it. Um, yeah. I think you like how you like your stats and all that. I always thought you were a lot like Statman Dave.
Hmm.
And I remember joking in my video I done with you on my channel, say Statman Dave, this is the man coming through.
Yeah.
I think I said that at some point in the video. Um, who else you had on your? You've also got moved on to having your World of Football podcast. Um,
Yeah, that's given me a nice platform to have a podcast. But yeah, me and Josh, Josh do a very good job on there. We've had lots of people on there. Obviously, we've had Sophie Richards as well. We've had Villa Together. We've had Bluebird Legend. We've had Nathan. We've had a lot, and we've got. I think we're gonna be on the 90 at some point as well. So
oh, that'll be good.
some big channels are coming on this podcast, and it's actually great to see many people wanting to come on to chat with us. But yeah, the Football World Podcast is actually the World Football Podcast. Sorry, has really lifted off. I think last week we had our highest likes. I think it's at 31 likes so
I
far.
watched that. Yeah, I watched it.
So it's absolutely incredible. So, but yeah, I really enjoy doing that. And we always do that on a Monday evening at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I think possibly we've got a quiz on Friday evening as well. So if anyone obviously wants to join in for that, then they're absolutely free to do that. And that'll be a football
I'll,
quiz as well. So even better.
what I'll do is the end of when I put the video up, I'll stick the stuff in the description and that so they can head over if they like that sort of stuff. You know what
That's
I
great.
mean?
Yeah.
It's good, it's mental the stuff, you're doing now and being involved with Carl Edgar, you've been on with Jay Motti as well, haven't you?
Have
He's
indeed,
a good
yeah.
laugher. He's hilarious, man. I roll about laughing at some of the stuff he says on Paddock. So doing the podcast, who do you want to get on? Who's the main guest you'd love to get on your podcast?
I haven't really got like a big one in mind, but one person I would like to get on is like footballers sort of based in Scotland. So I would love to get Marvin Bartley on. I would love to maybe get Craig Halkett on, just like ex players who would actually be up for it. Maybe even Jonathan Sutherland, who obviously does sports scene. Stephen Thompson. I would just like to get people of that ilk onto the podcast. That's my main challenge next, is to get someone big like that on the podcast. I suppose a dream would probably be like your John Aldridges, your obviously Michael Owens, but they would be great laughs. Stephen Gerrard, Jamie Carragher,
Well,
they would be very, very interesting to try and get. But yeah, what I'm planning to do is maybe like interview, some sort of similar what Darren does, but I would like to interview podcasters and like presenters as well. That's something that I would like to do down the line.
yeah, well, that's sort of like my idea for this is, speak to people who came through, adversity, they faced things. I mean, you you went through a hard time at times with your disabilities and that, and you look at where you've came from to where you are now, and I know you've been picked on. It's not made me very happy as a mate seeing it, and it's brilliant to see what you're doing now. I mean, 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and yeah, as you say, I have came through a lot as well. But I mean, obviously, I was bullied at school, so that was a low point, and it just knocked my confidence. It just knocked my confidence, like being bullied at school, and then obviously you go to you go to college as well, and that college was good, but I at some like there were times where you were like feeling really, really down, and you just want to just be on your own, etc. So that was something like that. And then I've had a few jobs in my time as well. I've obviously I was in the gallery on the corner, which obviously is not in the is no longer there because it was a charity based gallery. So unfortunately that was gone through. I've been at like M&S as well. Been in and out of M&S, to be fair. I've done IKEA as well. So and then yeah, and then 2014 comes on, and Tesco offer you a wee job as well, and that was starting on night shift. And I'm going to say this now: if anyone does night shift, it really mucks up your brain, because I would hate the fact that people would be going out to school and work, and then I would be coming home and then just going straight to bed. So my body clock was really, really mucked up after that. But Christmas Eve 2014, I was actually made permanent at Tesco. So that has given my confidence a big, big boost to me as a person. But as you well know, I was a very shy person to begin with.
Yeah, no, I remember. Even seeing you popping in the guile on that, you'd struggle at times, and
Yeah.
get you talking, you're away. Like I always said that, get you talking, you can be away for hours. That's how I think
Yeah.
the talking to you in general, a couple of hours goes past so quickly, and Sam Radio when I've been on, you've like over it down to last weakness. I'm going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just too quick,
Yeah.
which is which is brilliant, really, because how far you've come. You know, I remember first conversations with you, and you know, I'd already had a couple of, I think I'd already had like a couple of drinks before I came in, and I was like, I probably doing the same as you, honestly.
Hmm.
Like I'm very like similar to that. I've been tested to be on the spectrum, and they said I'm not high on it. I'm on the more lower end, but it adds a lot of
Hmm.
things up for me. So
Yeah.
it helped. See, just doing that, and it was only a couple of years ago. It happened. I was at the doctor's, and they're just like, just want to do a wee test for you, and it just added everything up for me, and it
Hmm.
helped me understand a lot more, like people in general. Because sometimes, like, how they show, like, you know, like not understanding what was going on at the time, and I was like, wow, like I totally get it now, totally
Yeah.
get it.
I mean,
I'm a
that's
true
that's
life
the
from
thing.
it.
That's the thing as well with having, like Asperger's. Like nobody would notice. Nobody would notice you would have like learning disabilities or,
Mm,
like. I think people have obviously noticed that. Like people notice about my writing. Like my writing is like a scroll, and
yeah,
I can do a good signature,
I
but
can pick up
see when
that.
it's like joined up writing. Like someone can actually
Cursive script.
understand it. So but yeah, I don't think this is what I would say to people that don't trust someone by a book, and that's one thing I can say is that I
Don't judge
like
someone by
people have
it.
not
Don't.
noticed that I've got Asperger's. People have not noticed I've got Asperger's, but don't be afraid to ask these things. Don't be afraid to ask.
Mm,
Just come up to me, and I'll be happy to speak about it, because Asperger's hasn't stopped me from doing what I want to do.
yeah, that was like the main thing for getting you on. Like you've not let it stop you go from A to B. You know, you're getting married.
Hmm.
You know, you're getting married. You've went to view flats. You're ready to live on your own, and that's huge. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
absolutely huge. Um, how did that go? The flat viewing thing.
Yeah, it's going well so far. We're hoping to have a place in the summer at least. So hopefully I have somewhere to live. Obviously before we get married, which is obviously next year, which is crazy. Like I
I'm
honestly
looking
like
forward
I
to it.
never thought I was going to be in this position. Especially like I won't go into too much detail, but you obviously know about my
What
past
happened? Though?
relationship. Yeah, exactly. So, but I've got a lovely partner, and I'm really looking forward
Um,
to the
a
future
big
with her.
shout out to Laura.
Yeah,
Shout out to her.
she's
She's
she's she's
brilliant.
changed my life for the better, the good.
No, it's you can see you can just see you're happier, which is
Yeah,
amazing in itself. Because even coming back from a shitty breakup, it's life's bloody hard when it happens and you're kicked in the stones and you've got to find a way in a way of rebuilding yourself, haven't you?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we've both been in that situation as well. It does kick you. It does really kick you hard in the nuts, as they say. But no, she just came into my life at a time where you know I I was I had felt that if I didn't meet her in 2016, then I would probably be single probably forever. But she's come into my life,
Yeah.
and my goodness me, she is one of the best things to have happened in my life. And yeah, I decided to propose to her in Tenerife last year, and she was always going to say yes. I think that's one thing you can say about her. She's got a heart of gold. I absolutely love her to bits, and to be looking at flats with her is mental.
No, it is like. Thing is, I remember sort of getting the messages off you, like me and Carl in the group chat, and I was like, "Oh, I'm nervous." I was like, "Go for it. She's gonna say yes anyway." You know what I mean? She's gonna say yes
Yeah.
anyway. You do know you're the second best thing to happen at her in 2016, don't you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Hibs winning the cup just edges you, I think.
Oh, you had to put that in there, didn't you?
Oh, I don't know. Come on.
But no, in all seriousness,
No,
I
it's
mean,
a great one.
I actually have a good wee story about that day, actually, the Scottish Cup final, because
On you go.
I was actually meant to be watching it with with a friend of mine, but I actually got asked by someone to obviously swap shifts at work, and I can remember the person, a good friend of mine, Shannon Lamb, and she said to me, "Oh, I need someone to swap my shift at work. Would you be able to do it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be happy to do so." So that her and mum could go to the final. Ever since that day, she was like, "I will always be grateful for the fact that you actually swapped a shift for me to go and see my beloved Hibernian win the Scottish Cup for the first time in 114 years, and for that I'll always be indebted to you." So there you go.
I've got a funny story about that day as well. I was down in London with my dad at a gig. We went down to see one of his favourite bands at the Royal Albert Hall, and didn't realise booking it and all that. Oh, that's Scottish Cup final weekend. Now, right, I never forget a Scottish Cup final weekend. So we realising that, and then we went to the League Cup final. I thought we're not going to win the Scottish Cup anyway. So we get to the final. Me and my dad are travelling down to London. It was 2 days before the final, and just talking about it, I was just like, no chance of it. Ball's up promotion and that, and I thought we've got no chance, so it's fine. Go down to London, might bump into some United fans when I'm down. So get to sort of I don't know if it was a Saturday or Sunday the final. I feel bad for that.
Saturday.
The Saturday. Oh yeah, the Sunday was great. Thanks. So
yeah,
didn't think anything of it. Into a pub just across the London Euston and that, sitting down, and then all you seen was a bus, like everyone coming off the bus, and I was like, please don't tell me that's Palace fans. I've got a Man United t-shirt on. All United fans, and which was amazing, like unbelievable. So I get up and go to the bar, taking my plates back to the bar, and I was like, right, I'll get a couple of pints while I'm here for me, Dad. I got the couple of pints, so I didn't leave the bar for about an hour. Being there, United fans there, talking away to them. Scottish, should you score? Oh, Hibs, oh, they're playing, Rangers in the final. Hope he's win. I was like, listen, if both of my teams win the cup today, it's happy days. And obviously, United win in extra time. And Lingard scored the winner.
Yeah.
Jesse scored the winner, so delighted at that.
Oh, that was Alan Pardew's stupid dancing, wasn't it? When Crystal Palace scored. I remember that day. I was so. do you know the funny fact is about that final is that obviously as a Liverpool fan, obviously you do want Palace to win, but not after that silly dance. I mean, he just had egg on his face, Alan Pardew. He just had egg on his face at that point. But obviously that was the last match of Louis van Gaal's reign as Man United manager, and then immediately after that, Jose Mourinho gets appointed.
Yeah, so I'm on the train up the road. United have won the game. I think it kicked off earlier than the Scottish Cup final. We go 1-0 up, and I'm like, oh my god, have we scored too early here? Have we peaked too earlier? So Rangers go 2-1 up. Halliday scores that screamer. me, like a lot of other Hibs fans, would have thought, oh, here we go. And then Stubbs changed it straight away, and he put Henderson on for Liam Fontaine, and I think he took Cummins off for Keatons. And then we get the best thing is for the I can't remember what corner it is, but 5 runs out of play for one of the corners, and I'm going, get that ball in you. You know, not the biggest fan of Fraser 5 but you know he's a cup legend, so I've got to kind of cut that out. Henderson swoops that ball in, David Gray scores, and I'm inconsolable. Inconsolable. On a, you know, like the seats on the trains, and I collapsed into this. Like I'm sitting down, I just slid right down. I'm in a ball, crying my eyes out. My dad's looking across, going, "What's wrong with you?" I am crying my eyes out. I'm totally gone. Watch it on an iPad, and I heard about 2 or 3 seats up. There's other Hibs fans, and I thought, right, what are we doing? I stood up, seen the Hibs fans, and they seen me crying, so they just walked up, you know, gave me a massive hug, probably kissed me. I was like, right, has this place got a first class bar? Because we need to get some drink. So up to first class bar, get drink and that. Come back into Edinburgh after having a couple of drinks on the train. Finally calmed down. I get off the train and I literally walk into all the Hibs fans. I see like 2 or 3 like bumped into me, like my biological dad, and we're not huggers at all.
Yeah.
Don't do hugs, we're more handshake and all that. Just grabbed him and like his lassie's man Sean and just grabbed them, and it was like, "Oh, you coming for a party?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm just back for London, man. I'm knackered." I couldn't believe I bumped into like all my mates going through the crowds and that. I can't even explain what that was like. I started crying again and sitting thinking, "Oh God,
well, funnily enough, the my work, there was an actual sudden silence about like 5 o'clock. Like I remember this because I was going through on my break at the time, and 5 o'clock comes and there's an actual hush, and I was like, what on earth is this?
What jump
and
is
yeah, Shannon works in my work. Not now, but she at least she went to the game. But the one thing that actually happened is like we were obviously serving people at the time, but the place had went really quiet, and I was like, what on earth has happened? And then someone came running through and like, oh, we finally done it. Hibs have won the Scottish Cup. I was like, wow. So
Mate,
I've
got goosebumps as you're saying that.
Yeah. So, but I remember actually shouting at the time. I remember actually saying to someone at the when they came through and said Hibs won the Scottish Cup. I was like, about bloody time they did, because honestly, I was just thinking about, obviously I've got loads of friends who are Hibs fans. Obviously Rebecca's dad is a Hibs fan as well. And Grandad as well as a Hibs fan as well. And I was just thinking about them, and the emotion that they will go through, especially after winning it for the first time in 114 years. Like none of this. Oh, you haven't won the old cup since 1902. That song's gone now.
Funny thing is, right? Now I went to the famous Hearts game. 2-0 down at Tiny. And remember half time 2-0, and one of my mates got chucked out at 2-0. So I was like, bottom of Tynecastle, I get some 4 parts, 4 little sections.
Yeah.
I was near the Hearts fans. You're on 2-0. We've played really well here in the first half. We're definitely not out because we keep creating chances. And I sort of left my seat and I bumped into my other mate who I'd actually went to the game with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the thing he's left, you want to just come and stand here? I was like, brilliant, right behind the goals. Anything happens, I'm on the pitch.
Yeah.
We get to an equaliser, it's on the pitch, we go. And I just remember saying, I was like, if if we do them the day, we're going to win the cup. I remember saying, like, we do this, we're going to win the cup. And obviously, Tubman scores that header, and Paul Hanlon, goes right to school across the road for Tynecastle. Scores. And instead of running towards me, right, like right behind the goals, he runs that way towards like the corner flag where the corner came from. I've got right down the bottom of the stairs. Somebody's went on my back. Don't know who it was. I've ripped a £150 jacket at the back, like there. Didn't even care. I was like, that I can just sew that up. That's fine. But I mean, me and my mate walked from Tynecastle all the way down to Sunnyside to the Hibs Club, and I was like, that felt like 5 minutes. What a euphoria.
Yeah.
And I thought, we can win the cup. Didn't get to the replay because tickets for that were like gold dust. And then went up to Inverness after we beat Force County. Came back into Livingston at like 2 or 3 in the morning or something. Come back from Inverness at night. Mate, I was working before it, right, and got like a half day. And I was working the following day at like 12. I was gutted.
How did you manage that?
Pro Plus, energy drinks, and just hyper. We got to the semi-finals, and I didn't get to the rest of the cup games. And kind of thankfully didn't get to the Dundee United game. It was a Jason Cummins.
Yeah.
What a boy. But we spoke about that for a good bit. Onto your own Scottish Cup, of course.
Yes.
Must say, massive congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope you win the cup. There's a massive soft spot there. Going to primary school and that with Scott Pittman. As I'm seeing him in the squad, I'm like, I just hope, it'd be great for Livingston in general to win the cup. I mean, it's funny, I've lived in both places where the teams are playing. Lived in Perth as well. And sort of got ties to St Johnstone as well. With many more mates and, but no, Livingston need to win the cup. What's your highlights of the Livy fan though?
2004. I mean, 2004 is obviously going to be well up there. Obviously, sad for you guys, but no, good for us. 39,000 Hibs fans that day, 9,000 Livy fans. I remember that game immensely. Because funny thing is, like, some of these games you actually remember like being at. Like, obviously, I remember the first season in the SPL when it was called the SPL that day that time. We finished third, and like people would have expected us to have been relegated, etc. But you look at that side that came up into the SPL. Like, we had Broto in goal, we had like Brinkwan, Gary Boland, Marvin Andrews, Oscar Rubio, Francisco Quino. David Fernandez, who for me is probably still the greatest player to have ever played for Livingston. That I'll say that now. Davy Bingham, Barry Wilson.
I'm gonna stop you there. The greatest player ever played for Livingston is Hassan Kajul.
Oh my goodness me, Hassan Kajul. I always remember him. I always remember him.
What I'm going on about there.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean, 2004 is a highlight for sure. Probably seeing us beat Rangers, as well. Like, for the first time we came back up as well. Stevie G, God bless him. He's done a fantastic job for Rangers, and they look like they're gonna win the league by a canter as well. So. But yeah, that was good as well. The Celtic game.
I spoke for those, by the way.
Aye.
Day before the Rangers game, I was actually down at the stadium helping put everything on the like the display and that. I think I've done it for the Celtic game when you beat them as well.
Yeah.
When Dyke scored against Julian, I was there again and I was like, right, there's every Livingston game I've sort of been to at Arminville and the Livy end or helped, just do wee things he's have won.
Oh,
So,
very good. Very, very good.
On you go, highlights anyway.
I mean, the Celtic game, to beat them 2-0. And funnily enough, I actually missed this game because me and Rebecca actually had a wee gig to go to. It was still game live. It was like their final ever, live show. So I had a bit of a decision to make, and I was like, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to get to, Glasgow, after the, Livingston game. So I was just thinking,
a taxi from the stadium to Livy South and a 50-minute train through to.
Aye, but it did feel at the time that would have been a bit of a stretch. But I remember watching the game on my phone, and I have to say, from watching that Celtic game, it still gives you goosebumps seeing Scott Robinson being played through by Robbie Crawford, and then scoring high into Forster's net, and then Sarkic, who I think had only about 12 appearances for Livy, and I think he had about 8 clean sheets or something. Yeah. He was a great goalkeeper as well, and to find Dykes and to lift it over Forster, that was fantastic. The Hearts 5-0. I'm going to have to mention that Hearts 5-0.
I've got a wee story about that as well. So on you go now.
Hearts 5-0. I mean, that was just mental. Because I remember the fact that the halftime whistle went, and I think it was 0-0 at halftime, and then all of a sudden, like, people were saying, "Oh, this is a good result so far. This is a good result so far." I don't know what was said in that dressing room, but we just came out and just absolutely battered them, and I think it was 5 goals in 15 minutes, which is unheard of for Livingston's side. Dolly Menga going through the Hearts defence. I think he went through with five or six players before putting that ball in the net. Dolly Menga, one of the most frustrating players to have watched in a Livingston shirt, but my goodness me, he'll be always in folklore for that game.
So that night, I was actually with my mates in Glasgow seeing Jerry Cinnamon, the Auto Academy, and boy, it was real. Cammy was a Hearts fan. Me and my mate Connor, Hibs and Celtic fans. So this is going to be hilarious. So sort of forgot about the game being on, because music getting played in the arena, and you're sort of just waiting for the acts to come on. And I'm right, and I'm going, "Oh, what's the score?" And somebody went, "It's fucking 4-0 Livy," and I was like, looking at the pint, going, "Somebody confirm this," because I was like, "It's fucking 5 now." I'm just like,
cheers.
Yeah, never mind about the gig being good. This is, and I was like choked with the cold. Mind when we could go to gigs.
Yeah.
Back when we could go to things like that, but that was amazing. Like, I was buzzing as well. Marvin Bartley scored. So it's a good day, all.
Yeah, I mean,
on you go.
I mean, the thing is with that season, like, okay, it was our first season, back in the top flight, but like, we finished 9th that season, and I think any Livingston fan that you speak to would have taken 9th, which probably even 10th that season as well. And then the season we went on after that, I mean, to finish 5th, and yes, okay, the season got curtailed early, obviously COVID-19, etc. strikes as well, but the fact that we finished 5th is our second highest finish, and our second highest finish in the the SPFL era, for sure. But this season, I mean, if you had said to me that we would be 5th with about 14 games left of the season, I would have said you're talking absolute bonkers, because our start to the season was not great, and the fact that we beat St Mirren yesterday as well, And he was our first winner with St Mirren for a long, long time as well. But I mean, what a boy Martindale is. I mean, he's been at Livingston probably since we were demoted to the third division, and he's done his time in jail, and he deserves a chance as Livingston manager. There's no
He's
denying that at all. So the fact that we've gone on this good run is very, very impressive, and yeah, let's hope we can win the cup on the 28th of February, which would be absolutely amazing.
I actually hope for your sake that Scottish football kind of looks and be like, listen, let's postpone it 8 weeks, 8-10 weeks, so we can get some fans there, because it'd be great for the fact, just a great day out. And I mean, I know I'm a Hibs fan, but I know if he's won the cup, I'd end up at the post-match party.
Yeah.
Because I've got good to Livy fans a bit like yourself. I mean, I remember when I was there when he's on the Petrofac Cup up at St Johnstone. There's a couple of Hibs fans there. And just the buzz for that, I was like, imagine they actually won something.
Yeah.
Imagine, they won the cup, or they, imagine he's won the Scottish.
Yeah.
It'd be mental. It'd be great for the club as well, especially the owners like John Ward and that are doing a sensational job. And what's great about you is you haven't got like a flash player. You haven't got like a Scott Allen, a Ryan Kent, a Ryan Christie, Sam Cosgrove, right? These are all like Scott Robinson 4 years ago was playing holding midfield for East Fife and being ravaged.
Mental, isn't it?
And
absolutely mental. And he's I think David Martindale yesterday said he like jokingly, of course, he's like, Mini Aguero is at it again. Scotty, he likes a big goal, and he certainly does. And he's just been fantastic this season. But I think, look, Gary Holt did a fantastic job. I'm not going to lie. I think he decided it was time to move on, and I think the club as a like you look at the club, like the club were absolutely devastated when he left. David Martindale comes in, and just something just changed about the place. I think it's like 11 games unbeaten in 12 games, 11 unbeaten in all competitions as well is absolutely magnificent. So long may it continue.
9 wins out of 11.
It's mental.
Right, we're going to move on. Probably the worst topic for me, but a great topic for yourself. Your beloved Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go back to being a young kid supporting them.
Well, I mean, I can tell you my first ever game was Liverpool 4, Sheffield United 0 from 2007. It was in February 2007. Now this was when obviously 4-0. This was obviously when we had Rafa Benitez in charge. It was my first ever game. I was sat behind the Anfield Road end stand. I was outside. I was in the Anfield Road end, and I was right behind the goals. So watching that game, and watching the fact that we won 4-0 that day, but Crouch, Fowler, Gerrard, they were the goal scorers that day. It was just an incredible time, and I was like, I want to get back into going into more Liverpool games for sure. And quite frankly, like some of the games that I've been to, I've been very, very lucky. I've been to Liverpool Everton, I've been to Liverpool Arsenal, I've been to Liverpool Chelsea, Liverpool Manchester United. I've been to a few Liverpool Manchester United games. I've been to 2, I think we've won, and 1 was drawn.
You were at the Cow Hat-Trick one, weren't you?
I was at the Cow Hat-Trick one, yes. Yeah, I remember that game because I was sitting underneath the scoreboards in the centenary stand, so I was like underneath that.
Right behind the corner.
Right behind the corner. Yeah, right in the corner. So I remember that game, and it's just the anticipation of that day. Obviously, it was Kenny Dalglish's birthday, And I think looking at that game, like I think people had expected, Liverpool to probably lose that game because we were on a really bad run under Kenny. Bless him. He obviously passed on to the baton to obviously Brendan Rodgers, but that game in particular, I think it's the easiest hat-trick that Dirk is going to score, because one was basically on the goal line, one was a mistake by Nani header that went straight to Karen, and then the third one's a free kick from Suarez. And Van der Sar saves it, and nobody else reacts, and it's Dirk Kuyt is the only one that reacted. So yeah, I've been to a very good few games, and obviously Istanbul will obviously be remembered as that will always be remembered for sure. But there's one game I wish I was at, and it was that Barcelona game at Anfield, because that was just incredible.
Was that corner taken quickly?
Oh, of course.
That was. Do you want to know something, right? I'm Man United daft, right? But I can't stand Barcelona. I really, really can't. The whole Messi's the greatest that's ever played. I'm like, someone go out and scalp him. I love when they get smashed.
Yeah.
I think it's because I've always been more inclined to Madrid. What was he 4-0 down?
3-0 down.
3-0 down. And he's finished, 4-3?
4-3.
The only team to do that is you at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone said that the only team that could do that is Liverpool.
Yeah. And there's just been a big... It's just a big buzz around, obviously, having a fantastic manager in Jurgen Klopp. I mean, nobody would have expected us to, go and win the Champions League after being 3-0 down in the Nou Camp. No way. And Ousmane Dembele will always be remembered as the person who could have actually, put the tie to bed. Yeah, that miss as well. But obviously the Tottenham game as well. I remember watching it with a couple of friends of mine. I was drinking champagne after the game as well. I was drinking throughout the game as well. But just a fantastic memory. And then obviously last season, winning the Premier League for the first time in 30 odd years. I mean, it meant a lot to the club. It meant a lot to me because,
as we've heard.
Yeah, absolutely. But I must say, from obviously struggles this season. Obviously, we've been on a very, very bad run. I mean, we watched a fantastic game of football yesterday. The FA Cup game between Manchester United and Liverpool. I mean, we would have wished for that last week at Anfield. Not a cagey affair, just end to end, open game, which was fantastic.
I'm not sure that taken that last week.
But what I will say as a Liverpool fan, Solskjaer's building something at United.
You'll be one of the few I mean, this says it all.
Yeah.
I've been since the start. I've never once said he should go. I did say he could go. Eliminated to the Champions League, he probably could go, and I would have had a problem with it, but I would have been like, you've been knocked out the cup, Ollie, you're gonna, answers must be given. I think the club's reacted great to it, but back onto Liverpool, because this is more for you. Who's the heroes for you, Liverpool?
Well, obviously, I didn't get to see Kenny Dalglish, so that was a wee bit. That was too soon for me. But Steven Gerrard, obviously, he's always going to be a hero of mine. Fernando Torres. I mean, there's just some players that you just buy, and you just end up being absolute legends for the club and in your heart as well. Xabi Alonso. Luis Suarez. I know he's Atletico, but he was fantastic as well. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, they're just some of my absolute heroes. And you look at obviously Phil Neal, Alan Kennedy, Phil Thompson, so many to mention. And I mean, obviously I have missed out a few players in there, but no, just supporting Liverpool is just fantastic.
You know who I did love was Fowler.
Fowler.
Loved him. What growing up, I seen him scoring against, those goals against United. When I think it was Cantona came back.
Yeah.
He scored for you. He scored for the section, and put it in the top section of the box. Sort of ball. He was just a great player.
He was.
I thought
he was,
brilliant.
And he's doing his bit. He's doing his bit at Brisbane Roar in Australia, and he seems to be doing well there as well. But Robbie Fowler, Jamie Redknapp. I mean, the list goes on.
Really, he's a cracking player before his injury, wasn't he?
He was. Pepe Reina. I've not even mentioned the goalkeepers. Pepe Reina. Dudek. I mean, Alisson. Alisson's probably the best goalkeeper since Reina for sure. Because obviously we had Simon Mignolet, Adam Bogdan. Like obviously I'll know Adam Bogdan because obviously from his time at Bolton, and Brendan Rodgers had an idea. Oh, let's sign Adam Bogdan from Bolton. Never again, please. But obviously he went on to pastures new. I went on to Hibs as well.
Appeared done really well.
Yeah. So the fact is, I mean, I remember the 2010 season. Now this is obviously like 10, 11 years ago, but I actually remember the Hodgson days, and I've obviously had to live through the good and the bad times, but 2010-11 season will always be remembered as that season there. We nearly went out of business. We nearly went until John Henry comes in, and then gets rid of Roy Hodgson, and then Kenny Dalglish comes in. Then he gets the role permanently, and then obviously that the 2012-2013 season, Brendan Rodgers comes in.
And obviously, he's in a slip away from 2 slip-ups away from winning the league, really, that year.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Gerrard. I'm talking the actual result itself, Dunye's. The Palace result.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as a United fan, we were having our post-Fergie season, which was... It was humbling, if anything. It was humbling. Humbled me anyway, and I thought, oh no, this is going to be a tough couple of years. But see, because I've been used to success, I just thought, you know what, it's going to take time to rebuild, and hopefully we are. I mean, we're in a far better place now than we were 6-7 years ago. I mean, there's only 2 surviving players for that season now at the club.
Yeah.
Well, there's Phil Jones Kent. He's not playing over a year. And obviously De Gea. He's been a fax machine away for leaving, but been an unbelievable servant. But even last season, I was at the pre-season game against Napoli, and I was sort of in, how they made Murrayfield into sort of like the Anfield.
Yeah. I
was in sort of the cockpit, and even as a United fan, that was spine tingling. And I've been to Parkhead. I've been to Parkhead on a European night and heard them sing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and that's spine tingling. I mean, obviously, sad we're not going to hear that live again. So obviously, Jerry passed away the other week there.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. So what we got upcoming on your channel, Douglas?
Well, you have got obviously the World of Football podcast tonight at 7. So hopefully people get up to that. I've got my reaction to my Premier League predictions. I'm going to give you a wee spoiler. They've gone horribly, horribly wrong this season. So I've got that coming up. But
where did you put Arsenal?
7th. Yeah. So, but that's not the worst of them. I had West Ham to finish 17th. They're 8th, and I had Aston Villa to finish 18th, and they're 9th. So, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best, but I've got them. Probably, maybe. It depends really. I do have a schedule, but sometimes I don't keep to it. It just depends really on like fixtures, etc. But the podcast, probably another couple of previews. Obviously, we've got Spurs on Thursday. We've got West Ham on Sunday. So hopefully get a couple of people on for that as well. But no, I've got a lot coming up on my channel, and I'm very close to 400 videos as well, which is mental. 400.
That's mental. But you put out 2-3 videos a week usually, so put that in sort of a year. You'll have your weeks where you actually don't. So where can we check you out, Douglas? Everyone check you out.
You can find me on the Dugout Football channel at YouTube. So come and check me out over there. You can find me on Twitter at nrod_1992. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horne, and you can also find me on Facebook at Douglas James Horne. But thank you very much for having me, Andrew. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Man. It's been great having you on. As I text you, I was like, listen, the original script's going off. It's going to have to go out the window because of what's happened the last 72 hours. It's just been a bit mad, and we didn't even get to talk about Lampard.
I know, but that's the thing. That's the thing with Lampard. Unfortunately, Chelsea don't have a record of sacking managers and not having much patience. And I think there's 15 managers now that Roman Abramovich has had. So the next one will be the 16th manager. So it's crazy.
Almost too short to be appointed after the Wolves game on Wednesday, so they're saying.
Looks like it.
Did I see that correctly? Oh, the notification's gone. Never mind. Right, Douglas, thanks for coming on, and everyone check out Douglas's channel. I'll put the links in the description for him, and this video will be going out before your podcast later, so you got the link for the podcast, or just stick your link to your channel?
Just get any sort of podcast link. Probably the previous one, probably Liverpool's poor form, and Werner a flop. That's probably the one to probably go at, because that's the most. I think that's the most viewed one, and I think that's the most liked one as well.
Right, Douglas, I'll let you go and get ready for your podcast. So in a couple of hours. So thanks again for coming on. And
pleasure.
Hopefully we'll have a part 2 or something when you hit another milestone. Thanks for coming on, my man.
No problem. Take care.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.